Good morning and welcome to Enduring Journey to Bliss. My name is Deanne and today is watering day. So when I water, my plants that I have in a soil substrate, I will soak them maybe every other month, maybe once a month. It kind of depends on the time of year. Right now the heater is on. It is the last day of November, and so it's cold outside, and I have the heater running, so that dries out my plants. So what I will do is I will soak them, let them soak for like an hour or so, maybe 2 hours, depending on the plant and how dry I think it is. But for this particular watering, I am using the Jax Boost 15-0-0 cal nitrate, and I'm also using the Jax Feed 15-12-26. And I'm also using my CalMag, my seaweed extract, and I always use the API's stress coat that I use in my fish aquariums to help with the calcium and other chemicals that are found in my tap water. So what I do is I will mix this up in a old distilled water container, and I shake that up real good so I know it's mixed quite well. And then once it's all mixed, I will pour it into a tub, as you can see there. And once I have the tub, then I put my plants that I want to soak. I go ahead and set them in there. Let me move these out of the way. So the plants have a chance to soak and get all the nutrition they need and require to grow healthy. I have a mixture of plants in here. I have some Hoyas in here. I have Phalaenopsis in here. Not Phalaenopsis, I'm sorry. Philodendrons in here. So whatever I felt needed to be watered this morning. So this is my first round. I'll probably do 2 more, if not 3 more rounds of this as I bring in my different hanging plants and other plants to let them get their soak. And I'll also be watering my plants that are in, I have plants that are in self-watering containers. I'll give you an example up here. So these are in self-watering containers. They're growing in pon. That is a soilless substrate. And so I will fill these, and I'll show you that here in a bit. And these I don't soak like I do the ones in a soil-based, but I'll do that for my Hoyas that I have up here. And I have some other plants also in my orchid room, my growing space, that are also in these self-watering containers. So as I go and start watering those, I will at least show you 1, maybe 2, how I water these. But for right now, I wanted to give you an idea about the way that I will water some of my non-orchid plants. I let them soak, and I make sure I give them good fertilizer. This is another tub that I have soaking right now. You can see the water line there. I let them soak. I let them get as much water and nutrients as they want. This poor little plant was sitting too close to my heating vent, and boy, do I have some damage. So, yeah. But all these are going to continue to soak. I have Hoya in here. I've got Pothos in here. I've got this Monstera in here. And I have let them all soak. I'll continue to let them soak. And then, like I said, once these are done soaking, then I will switch out for some other plants that need watered as well. So as part of my watering routine, as I mentioned a little earlier, I put all of my fertilizer in with my water into an old distilled water jug. And I shake it up well. And I put it into a little watering can so it's easier for me to not overwater or not spill the water because this is a much smaller spout than the 1 gallon jug spout. So I wanted to show you, this is an example here of one of my self-watering containers, and hopefully, I'm not sure that that's going to come through, but the water line is like right there. And I might need to take this down and move it so you can see that better. And I have another one. This is a peperonia that I have in a self-watering container. That one you may be able to see the water level better. It's right there. But it's grown in pond. It's not grown in a substrate of soil of any type. Let me go ahead and take this down and see if I can get this to actually show a little better. I'll turn it so it's in the light, perhaps. So hopefully you can see where the water line is. It's about right there in this self-watering container. And we'll look at the peperonia. This variety is watermelon peperonia. I bought it as a very small little start. And it's still kind of transitioning into the pond that I have it growing in. Yeah, there you can hopefully see the water line. So, let me set this back up so that I can actually focus. So what I do on these, I'll lift this up and you can see, so there is water in the base, and there is a wick that goes up into the pot. So there we go. And then what I do, let's see if I hold this, maybe you'll be able to see, hopefully. Let me hold this a little different because that's going to spill if I hold it like that. So this is one of my Hoyas, and all I do is I water and I monitor that little window, and that is it. So once that little window is full of water, then this one is good until the next watering. And I'll show you again in this little peperonia that is still kind of transitioning. It does have some new growth. Hopefully you can see that. There's new growth right there. So it is beginning to transition. And right over here, there's a little new growth there and a little new growth there. They're not very big, but they are there. And there's one down here on the stem. You can see the green, hopefully. Yeah, there you can see that green. So that's new growth as it transitions. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you how I do this again. Hopefully you can see the little water level. And I just pour from the top. And I monitor that little window there for these. And as it fills and it gets up to the top of that, then I stop. And that's how I water these that are in the self-watering containers. So it is watering day, and I have plants in different growing mediums, substrates. So all these are going to get a drink today. I just wanted to kind of show you how I soak some of my plants that are in a soil base. I soak them, and others that are in the pond, such as these two examples here, they're in self-watering pots. So I just monitor the little windows here, and fill those up when they need it. And that is how I water. And every week or so, depending on the season and what's happening weather-wise in my growing environment, I'll water once a week with a week solution. And the third week, I will only do water, give them just a good drink, and then I start the routine again. So thanks for watching. That's how I water. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. And I appreciate you staying in and watching. Feel free to come back again soon. Take care and have a wonderful day.